All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Welcome, everyone. Today, we're taking a close look at a wealth-building blueprint specifically designed for modern Americans. Look, we've all been there, right? Trying to figure out how to actually stop living paycheck to paycheck and start building something real and sustainable. Well, today, we're going to unpack the exact mechanics of making that happen. And we're going to use a very specific, totally manageable amount of money as our starting line. This is a highly practical framework that can absolutely shift your entire financial trajectory.
So picture this. Boom. A sudden windfall of exactly $1,000 hits your bank account. Maybe it's a sweet bonus from work, or your annual tax refund finally cleared, or hey, maybe you just finally sold all of that old gear taking up space in the garage. Regardless of how it actually gets there, seeing that extra cash sitting in your balance is just an incredible feeling, isn't it? Your mind immediately starts racing with all the possibilities. It almost feels like free money, just a sudden influx of cash that is practically begging to be spent.
But here's the catch. Normally, what happens? A windfall like that usually triggers this urge for immediate, unnecessary purchases. You know, a smartphone upgrade you don't actually need, a really lavish weekend out, maybe a spontaneous shopping spree. It gives you this massive, but super fleeting dopamine hit. But there is a totally different way to handle it. The blueprint. This is about choosing the long-term peace of mind that comes from a solid, structured plan. Honestly, the difference between these two paths is literally the difference between temporary excitement and permanent financial security.
Seriously, where did that money go? If you've ever caught yourself asking this exact question just a few weeks after getting a windfall, you definitely know that quiet, sinking stress of not having a plan. You log into your banking app, and that magical $1,000 has just vanished into thin air, completely eaten up by a dozen small, totally forgettable transactions. The money is gone, and the worst part, your life hasn't tangibly improved in any lasting way.
So, the absolutely crucial pivot here is shifting towards smart money management. This means actually having a structured plan to build long-term wealth, rather than just caving to immediate gratification. It means you stop treating that $1,000 like a lottery ticket for a fun weekend, and start treating it as a foundational tool, a core building block. When you adopt this mindset, every single dollar becomes like a tiny employee working tirelessly for your future, rather than just a guest that briefly visits your wallet.
So here is the exact blueprint we are going to unpack today. Number 1, the $1,000 trap. 2, building your defensive foundation. 3, planting seeds for wealth. 4, upgrading your earning power. And finally, 5, your next financial move.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the $1,000 trap.
Listen, the very first step here is entirely behavioral. We've got to escape the trap of quickly spending windfalls on things we just don't need. We have to consciously confront the modern lifestyle trap. I mean, we live in a world of one-click shopping and hyper-targeted ads, right? The friction to blow a sudden $1,000 has literally never been lower. Overcoming this requires a deliberate mental pause. You've got to intercept that impulse and remind yourself, the thrill of a new gadget fades in a month, but the security of true wealth building, that lasts a lifetime. All right, moving right along to Section 2, building your defensive foundation.
As the saying goes, building an emergency fund is the bedrock of true financial security. Our absolute first actionable step in this blueprint is getting that emergency fund going. Whether it's a dedicated bank account or a secure savings jar, this $1,000 becomes your ultimate defense shield against unexpected stress. When the car suddenly breaks down or a surprise medical bill shows up, you don't panic. You don't immediately reach for a high-interest credit card. You simply use the shield you've built. And let me tell you, that peace of mind is absolutely priceless.
Now, if you already have an emergency fund sorted out, your absolute next priority has to be paying off high-interest debt. Did you know the average credit card interest rate is now sitting at over 20%? It's wild. That heavy interest burden relentlessly eats away at your potential wealth if you don't tackle it head-on. Deploying your $1,000 here guarantees an immediate return on your money just by stopping the bleeding. You are literally buying back your financial freedom from the lenders.
Okay, Section 3, planting seeds for wealth. This is where we go on the offense.
Getting started with investing really boils down to 3 simple steps. Open an investment account, diversify your investments, and focus entirely on long-term growth. See, instead of buying something consumable, you are now buying assets. And thanks to the absolute magic of compounding, historically, a single $1,000 invested in the S&P 500 doubles roughly every 7 to 10 years. You don't dig the seeds up the very next day to check on them, right? You leave them alone, let the market do its thing, and just watch that money multiply over the years.
Which brings us to Section 4, upgrading your earning power.
This is a game changer. $1,000 is a massive catalyst for upgrading your earning power, basically investing in yourself. You could invest in online learning to master a high-income skill, maybe upgrade your laptop or tech setup, or use it as seed money to start a freelance gig, create digital products, or even launch a content creation channel. This is all about taking a flat $1,000 and leveraging it to build a whole second source of income. It drastically upgrades your career trajectory and literally increases the money you bring in every single month from here on out.
And finally, Section 5, your next financial move. Let's bring it all together.
The ultimate goal of this entire explainer is to help you transform a windfall into lasting, positive financial growth and just immense confidence. Following this hierarchy, avoiding the trap, playing defense, playing offense, and investing in your own skills, it completely rewires your relationship with money. It transforms that initial deposit from a fleeting purchase you'll forget about by next week into a permanent, solid pillar of your financial architecture. It gives you true, unshakable confidence.
So, the blueprint is ready and waiting for you. The only question left is, what are you going to do with your next $1,000? The next time a deposit hits your account, I really urge you to just pause, pull up the mental image of this blueprint, and make a highly conscious choice. Because you now have the exact plan to build your wealth. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Now get out there and put your money to work.